Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. All right, we do have a consent agenda, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Linda, can you please read the treasurer's report, please?
Yes, sir. Treasurer's report, May 6, 2025. We have $310,725.89 in payable checks. 80% of those payable checks are to major vendors in the amount of $247,241.64. Payroll, ACH for April 25th, 2025, to include Social Security and Medicare, $170,959.29. We have 2 monthly bond payments totaling $44,380.62. Grand total, payable checks, payroll, and bond payments, $602,348.15.
All right. Thank you, Linda. Any questions on the treasurer's report? And everybody got the meeting minutes sent out a few days ago, and also the bills. Are there any questions on any of that before we move on? Okay, if I could get a motion to approve the treasurer's report, the last meeting minutes, and the payment of bills.
Motion.
Motion by George, seconded by Mike, number 1. Call the roll, please.
Michael?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Linda?
Yeah.
Charles?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. All right, next order of business, we have our visitor today. We have with us our guest speaker is from the Sustainable Ozark Partnerships, Dorsey Newcomb. Dorsey, I'd like you to please come on up to the podium and please give us a little update.
Yep, thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. I'd like to say, first of all, thank you to the City of St. Robert for being such a great supporter of Fort Leonard Wood, obviously, and the Sustainable Ozark Partnership. I have one of my handful of bosses back here with me, Mr. Steve Earhart, that many of you know well. So appreciate Steve's leadership and him being here with us. Just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of update about what we're doing at the Sustainable Ozarks Partnership and some of the things that we're trying to pay attention to. So recently, well, first of all, congratulations to everyone that's been newly elected or appointed, and thank you for your service and your leadership, and just couldn't say enough of good things about the folks that have been involved in this body over the years that I've been involved with SOP, so we appreciate that very much. We had the good benefit of Congressman Alford visiting Fort Leonard Wood last month. That's always good when our members of Congress get out and get to see our installation. We also had our Lieutenant Governor who came to Fort Leonard Wood and took a tour last week. We had a chance to, some of our SOP leaders, sit down and meet with him. I believe Mayor was there, and then he went on and did the salute to service at the Waynesville R6 School District. And he's asked that we come to Jefferson City after the session, the legislative session's over, and sit and talk with him, and so we plan on doing that. I had a chance to be in Washington, D.C. Back in early April and met with each of our members of Congress and kind of laid out the things that we're trying to pay attention to and the things that we asked them for their help with. One of the things that we learned while we were there and met with Senator Hawley is that same day he dropped some legislation, or proposed some legislation that introduces the idea of appropriating another $700 million to build more replacement homes on Fort Leonard Wood. So as you all know, we've got some $100+ million that's being invested in those appropriated, non-appropriated homes. Well, it's not an appropriated program, but the privatized housing program. And then we've also got a new barracks project that's going to start this summer too. So we've got some ongoing projects that we've all been kind of working to get behind for a number of years that we're going to see come to fruition. And this $700 million that he's introduced, it's not appropriated. I mean, it's an authorization, request for authorization. So if it's authorized, that'd be great, or any part of it. And then, of course, any of it that's appropriated, you know, more investments. Any dollar that can be invested on Fort Leonard Wood is what we're interested in to improve quality of life or enhance the mission. So we were really pleased to see that Senator Hawley had done that. Right now, we're paying close attention to the changes that are going on in the Department of Defense, particularly with the Army. as you all will read in a lot of different sources, there's some uncertainty about where the Army's end strength may end up. We've read accounts where it could be significantly reduced, and we've seen some other accounts where that might not necessarily be the case. We've been monitoring and tracking this for some time. A lot of the senior leaders in the Department of Defense are under non-disclosure agreements, so there's not a lot of talk publicly about this topic. But as members of Congress are starting to weigh in on this, we start to see a little bit more in the media. Of course, we know that impacts to Fort Leonard Wood, can come about if we have a smaller Army. Right now, we have the smallest Army since World War II. It could get a little bit smaller. We're hopeful that that won't be the case. We believe that the Army wants it to be, at a certain number, and it'll be up to whether or not the President's budget request to Congress supports that end stream. And then, of course, our members of Congress hopefully will have some ability to influence that as well. So we are talking to them constantly about this subject. We don't normally do this, but we did back in early March write a formal letter to each of our members of Congress laying out our concerns about end strength, and we have been meeting with them face-to-face to follow up on that. And some of this stuff is just starting to unfold with some hearings. There's a big hearing happening tomorrow, House Appropriations Committee on Defense, with the Army senior leadership. So some of this stuff will start, surfacing, and we'll start to realize what the numbers will look like. But of course, that's very important to all of us. One subject that we continue to monitor, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you all about it since this issue, directly since this issue came up, was the downsizing of the General Leonard Wood Army Community Hospital that many of you have read about in the news. Back late, mid-December, we ran across some information that revealed that the Defense Health Agency was considering downsizing our hospital to a clinic. $400 million investment before the ribbons would ever be cut, would be downsized. It was not just our hospital, but I can tell you that through our network, when I say our, when I use the word our, I'm not talking about me or the folks that work in my office with me. I'm talking about our collective network of folks brought that to our attention. The hospital commander on Fort Leonard Wood, our installation commander, our trade op commander, our CAT commander, all the way up to the Secretary of the Army. No one knew that the Defense Health Agency had this plan under consideration, and they were poised to make a decision on the 9th of January and then inform our members of Congress on the 10th of January. So we were able to take that information and share it with all of our stakeholders at the federal level and the state level, and our members of Congress engaged very aggressively on that. And although there has not been a formal decision announced, we do have good reason to believe that our hospital will be in good shape. Of course, just like all the other medical professions or institutions and agencies across the country, medical professionals are in short supply, so manning of our hospital will continue to be a challenge, something that we have to accept and we have to continue to work with. But we appreciate the leadership that our federally elected leaders demonstrated in helping us defend our hospital. The civilian personnel reductions that are going on in the Department of Defense and the federal government, they're happening in a number of ways, whether it's early resignations or these other actions. We still do not have, a good sense of the magnitude of what those reductions will look like on the impact of Fort Leonard. We know where the target is, but we don't know if there will be reductions beyond that, or if some of these voluntary separations will achieve the numbers, or there'll be further reductions directed, or if there'll be a civilian reduction in force. We just don't know yet, but we do know that some of this will affect our installation. Intergovernmental support agreements, I can tell you that I've never been more proud of what's been accomplished, working between the cities and Fort Leonard Wood than I am to tell you that these intergovernmental support agreements and this really big one that the city's undertaking with the trash removal on Fort Leonard, that's a really, really big deal. And then the other one is the fire extinguisher maintenance contract that you all are part of through CoUSA. We have been trying for years to make things like this happen to this magnitude. So thank you to you all for your support. And I can tell you that we've had a hard time over the years collectively convincing Fort Leonard Wood that our communities have the capacity to do what we're doing now. But when they've gotten now a little bit of a sense and a taste of how well these are working and the savings that are being realized and how effective it is, their appetite for this continues to grow. So we need to be able to do more of this. So I'd like to thank you all for your willingness to be persistent. We've been on the roller coaster with these things up and down for years, back and forth, but we finally got some ones that are really significant, and I'm proud of that, and I hope that you all as well. I talked to you already about the barracks and the housing. Those are good investments that we need to continue to accentuate. I talked to you a little bit about this oversight hearing tomorrow with Army senior leadership. We're also proud to be recipients as a community and installation of the Army Community Partnership Award. The last one we did was in 2017, so now we can put up fresh new signs at the entrances of our cities for 2025, because next week or so, the 15th of May, a couple of us are going to go out to the Pentagon and receive that recognition. So I think that's really great to continue to keep our name and the reputation out there. And there's a lot that went into all of that. But the work behind the enhanced use lease and everything that's going on at the airport in terms of the partnership, it was the write-up that compelled us to be selected. So, we just parlayed a win on top of a win on top of a win for recognition. So I'm proud to be a part of that, and I thank you for your, allowing us to be a part of it. Our next community partnership meeting and SOP update will be 25 June. If there's anyone that's not on our mail list and you're not seeing invitations or anything like that, if you're interested in participating in those things, just let us know. We want to include as many people as we possibly can. And then, of course, we look forward in mid-August, August 13th, for our SOP annual meeting. So, as you all know, I could stand up here and talk all night. I know that's not what you want me to do, but I wanted to hit those highlights for you. But, foremost, I wanted to express our appreciation. You all are, as far as a municipality, a public entity, the largest supporters of SOP, and it makes a difference, and we couldn't do it without you. It might sound cliche, but it's real, and your unwavering commitment to that has been great. And you've been doing it for 8 years. I went back and looked at the records today, and that's a significant commitment that you've made to us, and we want to continue to bring the return on investment back to you all. So I'd ask if anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Any questions from any of the city council members?
No, I just want to tell him thank you for your commitment to the program that's keeping Fort Leonard Wood out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, I'm going to echo the same thing. I mean, your advocation, being an advocate for us in this area, and I've got to personally witness, right, what you do when I served on Leonard Wood, and then, of course, the past couple of years. So I just think that organization, SOP, is just invaluable to us to maintain, and keeping the progress moving forward of what we are. So we really appreciate you, Dorsey, and your very small team of what you do, because a lot of people don't realize what you do, but some of the things that you have been able to accomplish or even just communicate makes a big difference. And I tell you that the whole Josh Hawley thing with the hospital, we got so far in front of it quickly, and it had a lot to do with you and your organization, your team, and stuff like that. So we thank you as well, and we love being a great partner with you, and we look forward to doing another 8 years with you guys. So thank you very much for coming. Anything from the Steve? Anything to add? Did you do okay?
I'm good.
You good?
Thanks, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Dorsey. Appreciate it. All right, always great to hear from our Sustainable Ozark Partnership team. All right, before we move on to old or new business, and I don't want to forget, Tim, would you please introduce the staff that you brought with you tonight?
Thank you for having us. We've got Jaden, Alexis, Sam, and Caden. They're all from Waco High School. They're juniors and seniors, and we appreciate being here.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Well, we appreciate you. All right, moving into old new business. First up, we have 4.1, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to exercise a second option for a one-year renewal of agreement with Stella Environmental Services, LLC, for the transportation of municipal waste from the St. Robert Transfer Station to the Black Oak Landfill in Parkville, Missouri. Anita, would you like to please give us any updates or any information we need to know about this one?
Yes, I would. This is the last renewal we have on this contract. We had 2 1 years, so this is the second one. So in the next year, we'll have to look at our options and how we want to move forward. If we want to purchase the cabs and haul our own and the drivers, or if we want to try to bid it out and contract it again, but we have a year to figure that out, so.
Okay. Well, I think if we could do what you did with the trash thing, you know, the government contract, is giving us the options, right? Like, what if we rebid it, you know, how much would it cost us? What if we bought the cabs ourselves and did it? And that way we have a good price point to figure out what that is. But like you said, we have a year to get that done. So, any questions from the city council members? Anita, go ahead, Charles.
Miss Anita, do we have to have a copy of the renewal contract inside the ordinance?
It's an option in the original contract.
Ty said it's an option in the original contract.
But still, don't you have to have a document to sign updating?
Well, he has to. There's an option. I'm not real sure what, I wasn't involved in it today, so there was an option. Is this the transportation?
Yes.
We've got a year, a renewal here. I'm not sure of the documents. There's got to be one for the mayor to sign.
That's what I'm saying.
What we got.
My understanding was it was a written communication signed by the mayor saying we're exercising our option to renew.
Yeah,
That's what we did the last year.
that'll do it. All you got to do is renew the option.
Yeah.
Pursuant to the terms of the contract.
Yeah, that'll work.
Which the ordinance will take care of. Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks, Charles. Appreciate it. Anybody else? All right, Carrie, can you read it, first reading as a bill, please?
Bill number 25-042, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to exercise a second option for a one-year renewal of agreement with Stella Environmental Services LLC for the transportation of municipal waste from the St. Robert Transfer Station to the Black Oak Landfill in Hartville, Missouri.
All right, do I have a motion? Motion by Linda, seconded by George. Clarification, discussion, call the roll, please.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Yes. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Carrie, second reading, please.
Bill number 25-042, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to exercise a second option for a one-year renewal of agreement with Stella Environmental Services LLC for the transportation of municipal waste from the St. Robert Transfer Station to the Black Oak Landfill in Hartville, Missouri.
All right, do I have a motion? Motion by Walter, seconded by Mike. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Yes. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Okay, Carrie, can you read it as an ordinance, please?
Ordinance number 4152, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to exercise a second option for a one-year renewal of agreement with Stella Environmental Services LLC for the transportation of municipal waste from the St. Robert Transfer Station to the Black Oak Landfill in Hartville, Missouri.
Very good. Do I have a motion? Motion by Mike Gold. Do I have a second? Second by George. Clarification, discussion, call the roll, please.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Yes. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
All right, moving on to 4.2, an ordinance approving a proposal from Kiowa Line Builders. This is for the retirement and replacement of 14 utility poles. Steve, is Steve here? No? Steve, do you have anything to, I know that these poles were in the budget last year, so this is just the execution of replacing those poles, correct? Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to add?
It was budgeted for this year. We usually do a pole change out every year, and it's really helped out on our power outages and when storms go through, power lines being down. So it's a continuing of that.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Any questions from the council members for Steve or anybody? No? All right. Carrie, can you read it as first reading as a bill, please?
Bill number 25-043, an ordinance approving a proposal from Kiowa Line Builders Incorporated for the retirement and replacement of 14 utility poles.
All right, do I have a motion? Motion by Mike, seconded by George. Clarification, discussion, call the roll, please.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Yes. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
All right, Carrie, second reading, please.
Bill number 25-043, an ordinance approving a proposal from Kiowa Line Builders Incorporated for the retirement and replacement of 14 utility poles.
All right, do I have a motion? Motion by Linda, second by Michael. Clarification, discussion, call the roll, please.
Michael. Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Yes. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
All right, Carrie, can you read it as ordinance, please?
Ordinance number 4153, an ordinance approving a proposal from Kiowa Line Builders Incorporated for the retirement and replacement of 14 utility poles.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Walter, seconded by Charles. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Yes. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
All right, moving on to 4.3, an ordinance approving a post-based one lease agreement, a service agreement with the post-based one, and a posted meter rental agreement with Summerham. All right, who is going to talk to this one, Anita or Frederica?
Fred.
Fred, please.
The current machine we have has been out of contract for about 2 to 3 years. It got past us on the contract. This is a newer version. It's about $80 more than what the other one was. It's a faster version, and it was fit in the budget for this year to get this upgrade. It's for our postage machine, get all of our mail out. Less
Okay.
people, less time.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we had a question, me and Charles was talking about this, and Charles, if you don't mind, I'll just go ahead and ask you. So Fred, so there's 2 documents, you got Exhibit A and Exhibit C. So Exhibit A says the lease is for 63 months at a $348 a month, right, which is a couple more bucks than we were spending before. But on Exhibit C, it says 63 months and it's a total payment of 78. Are those 2 different things we're talking about?
The second one was supposed to be part of the first one, because isn't it a service agreement? Because I thought I read where it said that it's included in the rate, the rental rate.
Mayor, it's a service agreement, but in the first document,
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A, it says everything is included on it.
Okay, that's what I read, was everything was included on it.
So the question is, where is the $78 coming from on Exhibit B
Or Exhibit C?
or Exhibit C?
This may be me, but I was reading the contract, since Exhibit A had a price, Exhibit B says the cost is in the lease, and then Exhibit C said 78, so if I got that wrong.
Well, because normally the price, the service agreement is included in the price. When we've done with Summer One before, it's always been the price.
So that's the dilemma.
Yeah. All right, so what we need to do is just get clear, we'll still move forward, because, I mean, we already have a contract with them, we're just redoing it, right?
Yes,
We
sir.
just need to get clarification, is that 78 in the 348?
Yes,
Or
sir.
is it completely separate, right?
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we're getting it right,
Yes, sir.
and getting the one-year lease agreement done. I mean, we're already doing it, and we're just renewing it with a little price increase with faster service with the equipment. It could be equipment rental, I don't know, but we definitely need to get clarification on that before. Is that the only thing, Charles? That's the only thing we talked about, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, because maybe I'm misreading it, but Charles saw it too, so then I figured we'd go ahead and talk about it, so.
And I further thought it might be that way because Exhibit C, Sumner One is classified as the dealer, and
Right.
there's another name on the top, but that's why I thought they were, but I don't know. Let me know
Okay.
if I need to fix.
Yeah. It could be 2 different, yes.
So Mayor, I motion that we move ahead with the ordinance
Yep.
and with the corrections made later.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's probably just something we're just not seeing fully, but definitely need it, and it'll definitely improve our services for mailing for our citizens, so. Okay, great, thanks, Charles. Any other questions or comments from the city council members? Okay, Carrie, can you read it as a bill, please?
Bill number 25-044, an ordinance approving a post-based one lease agreement, a service agreement for the post-based one, and a postage meter rental agreement with Sumner One.
All right, do I have a motion? Motion by Michael, seconded by Mike. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Yes. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
All right, Carrie, second reading, please.
Bill number 25-044, An ordinance approving a post-base one lease agreement, a service agreement for the post-base one, and a postage meter rental agreement with Sumner One.
All right, do I have a motion on the reading of the second bill? Motion by Linda, seconded by Walter. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael. Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Carrie, read his ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 4154, an ordinance approving a post-base one lease agreement, a service agreement for the post-base one, and a postage meter rental agreement with Sumner One.
All right, do I have a motion for the ordinance?
Motion.
Motion by Charles, seconded by Walter. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
All right, moving on to 4.4. This is an ordinance authorizing the purchase of security camera system from Tom's Computer and phone repair for the City of St. Robert Community Center, and as well as the Tiger Typhoon Aquatic Center. Linda, I know that this went through Wage and Finance Committee. Would you like to talk about it?
Well, I don't remember anything about a phone repair in our,
Did I say phone?
yeah, you said phone repair.
Oh, I'm
That's the
sorry.
name of the
That's the name of the
company.
company.
Oh.
How's a camera system?
That's the name of it.
Security
Okay, oh, okay,
We're
you
talking
said
about
phone repair, I don't remember
Company
saying
name.
anything about a phone repair.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's
it's
it.
to install security cameras at the community center and at the pool. And there are 19 cameras. The total cost is $25,000. We did add an additional, we talked about it at the meeting for an extended warranty because it had a year's warranty. We asked about an extended warranty and that was $2,000. And I think we all approved, we all said that would be good for the extra, for the 5-year warranty. But if we have any specific questions about how the cameras work, that gentleman right back there is here to fill you in on anything you need to know.
Perfect, well, thanks for
He's a
coming, appreciate it.
representative from Tom's.
And City Council Alderman, do you have any questions? Any questions? None? We're good? Do you have anything you wanted to add? No? Good? All right, we'll move forward then. All right, yeah. Carrie, can you read it as a bill, please?
Bill number 25-045, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a security camera system from Tom's Computer and Phone Repair for the City of St. Robert Community Center and Tiger Typhoon Aquatic Center.
All right, do I have a motion on the reading of the bill?
Motion.
Motion by Linda, seconded by Michael. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Carrie, second reading, please.
Bill number 25-045, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a security camera system from Tom's Computer and Phone Repair for the City of St. Robert Community Center and Tiger Typhoon Aquatic Center.
Okay, do I have a motion on the reading of the bill? Motion by Walter, seconded by Linda. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Yes. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
All right, Carrie, read as ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 4155, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a security camera system from Tom's Computer and Phone Repair for the City of St. Robert Community Center and Tiger Typhoon Aquatic Center.
Motion.
Do I have a motion by Charles? Do I have a second? Second by Michael. This clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to 4.5. This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission supplemental agreement to airport aid agreement. Anita?
Yes, this is a supplemental agreement for $2,323,053 for the construction of the airport terminal.
It's a grant that they're giving us extra, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. All right, any questions for Anita before we move on? Okay, let's go ahead. Carrie, can you read it as a bill, please?
Bill number 25-046, an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission supplemental agreement to airport aid agreement, project number AIR 236-057B1.
All right, do I have a motion on the bill? Motion by George, seconded by Mike. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Carrie, second reading, please.
Bill number 25-046, an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission supplemental agreement to Airport Aid Agreement, project number AIR 236-057E1.
All right, do I have a motion on the reading of the bill? Motion by Mike, seconded by Walter. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael. Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Carrie, can you read his ordinance, please?
Ordinance number 4156, an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission supplemental agreement to Airport Aid Agreement, project number AIR 236-057D-1.
All right, do I have a motion? Motion by Michael, seconded by Linda. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
All right, that's done, thank you. All right, moving on to, excuse me, 4.6, an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to enter into the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission Airport Aid Agreement for air service promotion. Anita?
This is a $54,000 grant, and there's a $6,000 match with it, and it's for marketing of the airport.
Any questions from the council? Yes, for marketing, like social media marketing and flyers and that kind of stuff, yeah. Okay, well, Carrie, can you read it as a bill, please?
Bill number 25-047, an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission Airport Aid Agreement for air service promotion, project number AIR 256-057B-1.
Do I have a motion on the reading of the bill? Motion by George, seconded by Linda. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Carrie, second reading, please.
Bill number 25-047, an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission Airport Aid Agreement for air service promotion, project number AIR 256-057B-1.
Do I have a motion on the reading? Motion by Michael, seconded by Mike. That's going to get me every time. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Carrie, read his ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 4157, an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission Airport Aid Agreement for air service promotion, project number AIR 256-057B-1.
All right, do I have a motion on the reading of the ordinance? Motion by Walter, seconded by Mike. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Comments by the aldermen. We'll start down with George. Do you have anything? Would you-
Just kind of get an update on the, I don't know, you gonna cover that, Anita?
What's that?
Update on the trash on post, and how that's going, we've been doing it.
Mark was gonna cover that.
Oh,
Mark,
okay.
can you-
Just, yeah, I'm just interested in hearing.
Right now, we have been doing the sanitation on Fort Leonard Wood for just about a week. Rick has a gentleman back here that he was going to introduce when he has time. This is Jason Leisman, he's our supervisor out there. We were able to bring on currently 3 of the employees from Fort Leonard Wood. One of them joined us, but then decided not to stay after one day. But as of right now, Jason gave you an update. I think everything's going smooth. The drivers are picking up the routes very, very good. We've been picking up trash and doing recycling since day one. We started at, early in the morning on Saturday and trained drivers, and Monday morning hit the road running, and been going ever since. So I think everything's been going smooth. Jason can run out anything you can, but I don't know if he does. But
Yeah, it's been real good, and with the sport market, Anita, it's been amazing.
so we thought it would be a little bit different than being a contractor because we're more of a team here. So that's what we did, and Anita went out, and we went out on Saturday morning, and brought donuts, Anita did.
That's how you win their hearts.
There you go.
Now, we've got some real good guys out there, and we've done 2 more to start with background checks and stuff to clear, and one gave notice to start. As soon as they start, we'll be fully staffed, and everybody we have out there will be a
He
CDL
said
driver.
something.
I was just saying how fortunate we've been to find the drivers that you
Right.
found. I mean, it's just worked out great. Start to find drivers.
Right.
I mean, and you still right in there.
What about washing them? I was out there on post and saw one of the trucks, one of the lift trucks. Didn't look like it gotten washed yet or cleaned or kept.
We've been having some issues with wash. The wash station that is there at the recycling center, the oil separator is not large enough to actually wash the trucks. They allow us to wash the dumpsters there, but our trucks have a washout unit on the truck, so we can wash the dumpsters where they sit. We don't have to transfer them to that spot. So we're still talking with Ricky. We know we can wash them down at the transfer station, but that would be in the middle of the line trying to wash a truck, and you got trucks backed up. So we're trying to figure out just, the procedure for washing the trucks. We also have talked to Steve. Steve said that we can wash the public works as well. That way we would not be in the line. So we're just trying to get the logistics of get that going on, so.
Want a truck washing.
Steve, we talked a long time ago about a wash rack over there,
Yeah.
Public Works.
Yeah, it was, there's so many, we have so many vehicles now where we clean the mud and stuff off. We should probably be capturing that. We do capture it at the end of the road there,
Yeah.
and then we pick it up and haul it off later. But sometime that road's gonna go through, and we're not gonna have that option.
Yeah, I think we need to look at that.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good,
Yeah.
definitely need our own, yeah. Okay, great.
We have a lot of
Thanks for the
ideas.
update, and Jason, we look forward to hearing a little bit more from you. Anything else, George?
No, that's it.
Thank you very much for that, appreciate it. Charles?
On Easter, I got a citizen come to my door. He was complaining about curbing and sidewalks. And in the Sawmill subdivision, it's certain sections that are in need of definite curbing and definite sidewalks. It's been a continuous problem for years, and I'd like to introduce that to the
Is
council.
that the one you talked to me about earlier? Was that the one on Sawmill?
No, that was on, Steve, what street was that one on?
Men's-
205 Ziegenbein or
Yes.
205
Okay, so it's not the
Ziegenbein?
same one.
This is a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, and 205 Ziegenbein as well has an issue with runoff, water runoff.
It's not coming actually from the street. A lot of that at Ziegenbein is actually coming from his own lot.
Okay.
But since there's no curb there, he's saying some of the street water is
It's
getting.
coming in.
We definitely have some plans on that one, and what we can do, Anita, we could just get the address, Charles, and then we'll just add that to the other one. We can take a look at it and see, to make sure, that way we can go out there and do a good assessment of it, so.
All right.
Just get us the address, Charles, and we'll dig into it and try to get some stuff done, so, okay?
That's it.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate it. Linda, do you have anything?
I just want to thank whoever planted grass at the dog park and then got it mowed and got it opened again. Thank you, whoever that was, Steve.
Steve.
Did that break of closing it really help the speed plus the rain and stuff?
It helped. The grass is still a little young. We let it overgrow, done a first cut on it. It would be nice to get another cut before we opened it, but we went ahead and opened it.
It
So
looks
hopefully
nice.
they don't hurt it any until it gets to an adult stage.
Yeah, right, absolutely. Yeah, let's hope all that work isn't for nothing. Okay, great, thanks, appreciate it. Walter?
Oh, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I had a chance to step in for you at the Easter egg hunt over there. But
How was it?
That wasn't really him to do it for me, but.
How many eggs did you get though?
More than anybody at the kids.
Yeah.
But look, it was a real good event there. Wasn't a great crowd, but it was a good crowd there, so it's kind of made it real good. And I also had a chance to go to the AUSA meeting, learned a lot about that.
This past Friday, right?
Yes, sir. And in committee up particularly where they honored one of the soldiers, Sergeant Rosso. I mean, Princess Russell.
Yeah.
And so it was real good, and so I appreciate that opportunity.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for, I saw the pictures from the Easter egg hunt, the fun, I saw the Easter bunny was out there too. I don't know where we got him from, but that's cool. But
It's a secret.
yeah. Well, thank you very much, I appreciate that, and representing an AUSA Committee 50 are very important, so.
Yes.
All right, Mike?
Not this time, sir.
Nothing, okay, thank you. Michael? Nothing, okay. All right, moving on to comments by the administration. First up, we'll have Mike. Come on up. And just while he's walking up, I hope everybody got a chance. It was International Firefighters Day this past Sunday. Hope everybody got a chance to thank one of our folks that work for us, so appreciate that for all you do. Mike, the floor is yours.
Thank you for doing that, Mayor. Good evening. Give a little update from the April 6th up till yesterday, May the 5th. We had 109 incidents, 31 fire inspections, 48 hours of truck equipment checks. That's pretty much ongoing all the time. 124 training events totaling 273 hours of continuing training hours. And 3 personnel from May 1st to the 3rd just completed the Trike Rescue Boat Operations class in Valley Park, Missouri. So they're now certified. And no sooner got back, and mutual aid on a call and done a rescue out in Tri-County's area, fire protections area. So that was Saturday evening, and no sooner got back, and in the water they went. So went pretty good. Now, with that being said, the caveat, our boat shower had to have new wheel bearings on both wheels. For some unknown reason, one side didn't hold up, and actually my guys had to fix that while they were in Valley Park. Had to go get the tools from AutoZone to fix it because the wheel was shaking on it, but that's fixed. We began our annual hose testing of the fire hose. We do that every year. And just to give you an insight there, we have 13,500 feet of hose test every year, so it's quite a bit. That's an NFPA standard that we try to follow, just because it's safety driven. Make sure the hose is in good working order. And of course, Mayor, like I was telling you, we'll be starting probably by the end of the week, starting the hydrant testing. We're hoping. We were hoping to get started this week, but then we got backlog of calls and it set everything back. So then we attended 5 public events. One of them was the Sapper in the park. That's our 3rd year of being down there. And of course, we all go on standby because of the helicopters landing for the LZ. That's pretty amazing to watch that and watch them guys do that event down there. It really is. So, and also on another point here, I've got 4 people coming up. I believe it's May, I think it's 21st to 23rd. We're going to take what's called Driver Operator Corps over at the City of Wallace hosting it, the Missouri Division of Fire Safety. And when they're done with that, they will have an IFSAC certification for being a driver operator of the engines. And we're going to stair step it. And the plan is we're going to get everybody certified at that level before it's over with, moving forward. So. And then I got 1 gentleman, my lieutenant from Sea Ship, started Fire Officer 1 at Fire School in Jeff City. Started today and will end Friday. Then we'll be certified with that. And it's another qualification that our officers need, both lieutenants and captains. So that's all I've got, unless anybody else has any questions for me.
You missed the Lowe's thing too, though. You did the Lowe's event too.
Yep. Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't list it. You're right about that.
Yeah, that was
Lowe's.
a lot of people attended and they told me
Yep.
that it was great having you there. And
Awesome.
it was great additional to
Yep. We love doing that, and also with caveat to that, we were at the Easter egg hunt as well. We had Sparky out there as well. So he was trying to compete with the Easter Bunny. So
That's kind of tough on Easter.
it really is. I think the Easter Bunny's going to outweigh that.
I would like to thank the fire department because the Waynesville St. Robert's Senior Center had a problem with their flagpole, and we have been waiting since last November for somebody to put the flag up for us and install a new rope, and just couldn't get it done. I went to our fire department and I said, can you guys put this up? The next day, they were there putting up a new flag for the senior center. That's important.
Oh,
That's really
we'll
important
do it
because
anytime you get done.
a lot of veterans down there and they pay attention
Absolutely.
to that flag. So
Sure
yeah,
do.
thank
Yes,
you for
ma'am.
that.
Yep, not a problem.
Yeah, thanks for the update, Mike. Any questions for Mike? Thank you very much
Thank
for all
you.
you do, Mike.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Steve, you're up next.
to hydroseed the Neon Park. I know we did it right before a rainstorm, which is usually not the best time, so we didn't have quite enough tack in it. It didn't have enough time to really set. We do have pretty good grass coming in up there, but there's some areas that actually didn't wash, so we'll have to go back and spot some of that in. We're gonna let this event, the opening, open up, and then after it dies down a little bit, we'll go back in and handle some of that. Did install new exit loops at the gates at the Shasta Fueling Station, one on each side, Ziggenbein Road and Foxworth. Those both went out. And you could get in there, if you didn't have a gate operator, you couldn't get out, so we got those replaced. All the city backflow devices were tested and all passed. One exception, we did have an issue with the motor water gong here at City Hall. And they don't even, those are so old and outdated, they don't use those anymore. So we do have a work order set up for the fire, Merrimack Fire, to come replace it, and it'll just be a horn and a light instead of an actual water that makes the bell ring. That's all new, updated. We did get to, we went over and helped City of Crocker on a water main break that they had over there. Pretty bad situation. Their whole town was actually, they went out of water, so they was really needing some help. We was over there for quite a little while. I think we finally left, come back, I don't know, it was later that night, but they ended up not getting the water turned back on until about midnight or 1 that morning. So they went all day and most of the night without water. But they was very appreciative that we come over there and get them in. The gas department, when they was making a tap over on J.H. Williamson, for a new business over there, they noticed something was a little strange when they made the tap. Didn't seem like the gas main had the right pressure or any pressure at all. So done some further research, found out that when that line was installed, a lot of us didn't get to go over there and be around it as it was being installed and inspected. It was never turned on. So once they did get to turn it on, we found 2 major leaks on it. So we repaired one, installed a valve partway down, so everybody, it didn't put anybody out of gas, just the new business that we was making the tap. They're up now, and then the other repair, we had to order some parts, and we'll make it when we get a good dry spell, and then that'll continue our loop on around. That was the main reason why that was put in there for a loop. So, and that's all I have.
Okay, Mike, thanks. Any questions from, yeah, go ahead, Charles.
What's the status of the water system in Ridge Creek?
I know that we have I think most all of the material that was kind of, I don't know, I know that it's still under design. I don't think they haven't completed design on it yet, or engineer. They ordered quite a bit of material for it. I don't know if we have enough to do it all, but pretty darn close. So a lot of materials in, and still in design phase. I know we're going to have to look at ordering meters, water meters, and hertz for that also. So I'll be getting with probably Anita and our committee on what we're looking at to do that.
They had, what was it, Frederick, $94,000 spent?
Actually, that's the second expenditure. If we're at 109 on the second expenditure, 500 and some thousand on the first expenditure.
And that's out of the 1.5 million.
Yeah, it was out of our.
All right, thanks, Mayor. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all you've done. Thank you very much. Transfer station, Ricky, you want to bring up Jason with you? And sure. Or do your brief first, whatever.
I'll introduce Jason first. So he's the new, he's a supervisor of Fort Leonard Wood Trash. I've known him for a while, he's been out there for a while, he's a real nice guy. I think we got a couple of guys trained for him before it all took over, so that helped him out a lot, so. You want to say something?
I just appreciate y'all bringing me on, let me give it a shot. And then project manager for 8 years out there, I guess. Been out there for 30 years picking up trash, so.
Well, we're lucky to have you, Jason.
That's right.
Heard a lot of great things, heard a lot of great things about you out there, so we appreciate you, and thanks for being on the team.
Appreciate the support that everybody here give me, Mark and Benita, I had Mark out there on the forklift and skid steer. A little wild at first, but he got the hang of it.
I just don't let him hurt himself.
He got pretty good. He does, he's been keeping us, everybody happy, bringing donuts. And
See, I knew I was gonna be regulated to the donut.
It's all about the donuts.
She's so happy at the compost lady, knows where all the roll-off containers are.
Yeah.
We got lots of help.
All right, thank you, Jason, appreciate it, welcome to the team, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you all.
I got the April's tonnage report. We did 4,481 tons. We averaged 203 per day. Coming up on May 26th is Memorial Day. Monday's trash will be moved to Tuesdays, and Tuesday will be moved to Wednesdays. And we had a scale inspection today, and our scale was being off by 480 pounds on the last 3 pods. They closed us. I called our scale tech, and they were down by 2:30. We were running, so everything was operating like nothing happened, so everything's good. That's all I got.
okay, any questions from the city council for Ricky?
Just, do we know how long the scale was off and how much, was it on our side or their side?
It was reading low.
it's
So we
coming out
were
of us.
minus 480 on everything. And they come once a year and do that inspection. So, the pods that we have right now, they do not make no more. So I've got, they're supposed to be sending a quote for new weight pods. There's 4 on each side, and I'll give a heads up on that, how much that's going
Okay. Yeah, great, that's a great question, George, thank you. All right, Ricky, thanks, appreciate it for the update.
We're falling in the hole.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, that's a great point. All right, next up, my comments. So real quick, just a few things, just to kind of head up. So obviously, we all know, Fred, are you going to talk about the shirts when it's your go-around?
It's not my go-around, but we can
Please
talk
do,
about
yeah,
the
please,
shirts.
go ahead.
Neon Park. Okay, this is like the city's baby. And grand opening night lighting is this Friday. And we have shirts, 2 different colors.
Hold them so the camera can see them.
They can
Really?
see them.
Oh, and the guy
Like I
behind you too. Over there, you want-
Over here? Perfect. All right, so these shirts, the city had businesses that donated for them. These are gonna be for sale at the event. Whose trucks are they? Whose vehicles are on there?
Mac Myers,
Mac Myers, and he is
Cave State Cruiser.
K-State Cruiser, so that's his vehicles, his actual vehicles are on the front of
Oh,
these
cool.
shirts. And if y'all know who K-State Cruisers are, I love their cars. They got some really nice ones out there.
And Mac was involved in the neon signs in the very beginning when it was first being talked about, so
Very
that
cool.
was kind of neat.
And that's happening this Friday, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so please come on out, and you don't want to miss that. You want to be out there when the lights are turned on. This week is, this week is Small Business Week, so I would just ask that we continue to support, I think we should do it every day, but we want to definitely keep our small businesses and thank them for being a part of our community. Next thing, tonight, May Growth Alliance. There's a flyer on your table, but our next Growth Alliance, we have Preston Kramer from MoDOT Central District Engineer. He's going to basically update us on the MoDOT plan for Pulaski County's project and the I-44 study that's currently going on right now. So that'll be definitely something you won't want to miss. That should be pretty good. Additionally, we're going to do our May Business of the Month is St. Robert Glass. We went out there and recognized them. I think it was on the 30th or the 1st or somewhere around there. So we were able to recognize them, got the banner up. So that's our Business of the Month. And then we have a business that's going to be actually coming to the Growth Alliance that's going to be talking to us. It's Jay Mitchell, who's not only a veteran, but she's also the owner of Crosshair Barbershop, which is right next to Ichiban. So she'll be the one that will be business spotlight for that Growth Alliance. Next, yes.
There's no date or time on this, is there?
It's the third Wednesday at 9 o'clock here at City Hall.
I can never go.
Yep, third Wednesday, 9 o'clock.
It'd be nice if we had a big crowd for MoDOT coming to talk to us.
That's the third Wednesday.
Yeah, it's 21 May.
21?
Yeah, for this month.
Yeah.
0900, yeah. Tonight, for anybody that's interested, Sergeant Major of the Army retired Dan Daly is going to be at the Hampton Inn. They're AUSA sponsoring a social. He's in town. He's doing something for the installation, but he is doing a no-host social. But if you want to swing by and meet him or talk to him, he'll be there tonight. Just a reminder that on 9 May, this Friday, in addition to our Neon Park, is the Pulaski County Wellness Summit. That's starting up at 8:30 in the morning, if you want to participate in that. A reminder to all the guys here, Mother's Day is May 11th, this Sunday. Don't forget, get your cards, flowers early, and don't forget to call Mom if you can. And the last thing I want to talk about is just to give the date. 16 May is Waynesville High School graduation, just as an FYI. Before we go into closing, I want to go to the table. Mark, do you have anything?
No, this time.
Dana, do you have anything? Anita, do you have anything to
We've been busy getting ready for the Neon Park. I want to thank Steve, Mark, Fred, Dana, the whole team. Everybody's been involved in it. We'll have music, a DJ starting at 5 o'clock. They'll play music from that era. The Cave State Cruisers and a Mustang group and anybody with an antique car has been invited to participate in the cruise in. They'll be displayed. We have speakers coming. It'll be a fun event. We're giving away 500 hot dogs and bottled water, so come and have a good night with us. And at 8:07, they're going to flip the switch. Steve Long's going to push the button on his cell phone. The lights are going to come on. Just in case something happens, I bought 80 flashlights so we can
Obviously we've tested the lights, so we're good. Yeah, that was a joke, everybody. We've tested the lights, they're good. Now Murphy might get us on Friday, but
I hope not.
Let's hope not. It's going to be a great day. So great, thank you. Anything else, Anita?
No, sir.
Tyson?
We had over 210 cases today in the St. Robert Court in front of Judge Helms. Our police officers are very active and means they're writing a lot of tickets, providing the safety of the traveling public out here. That is just an immense docket. It took us 3 hours today to even get through it, but our police officers are doing their job.
Yeah, and they need to because we got some speeders out there for sure. So.
Well, we had a bunch of them.
Awesome, great, thanks. Anything else, Tyson?
The
policy that you all voted on last time where they had the traffic accident and they wanted to interview our first responders and police. I responded with everybody's approval that they have to have some kind of process, some kind of procedure. We're not going to volunteer our people to be talking, they've got written reports.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do, yeah. Okay,
That's all I got.
thanks, Carrie. Nothing? All right, awesome. Any alibis before we go to move to close? Yes? Yes, so Walter asked me about the Army's 250th birthday this year. So yeah, June 14th, the Army will celebrate its 250th, so it's a pretty big deal. Not sure what we're gonna do, but we're definitely gonna do something, so Walter's in charge. Now, we'll figure it out, so. Yes, Doug?
I thought you were going to have opening comments from the visitors.
We have that, we put that on the agenda. If someone wants to speak, they notify us prior to. But if you have something to say, you're more than welcome to.
Always got something to say.
All right, well, please coming up before we close the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Did you tell him he had 30 seconds?
You got 30 seconds.
For those who don't know me, my name is Douglas Fowler, I live on Phoenix, love the town, love the city. Proprietor, star of, and voice of Pulaski Talks, and I'll make you famous anytime you want to do an interview. One, website's still not updated. I hate to drop the ball, but you're still not the mayor on the website. It's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, he's the mayor, but I disappeared and John Moore's still
And so I don't know, it's still not
there. His
updated.
picture's on there.
So I don't know who's.
Well, James was on there when me and him went, when Don did it the other day.
I just looked,
Mm,
so.
Must be a technical glitch. I
I'm
know
looking
they-
out there, that's the face of us on the internet.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Don worked on it, and it must be a glitch because we definitely looked at it.
Yeah, because it was changed.
It's just, unless I didn't refresh, I just looked on my phone, it deserves a look.
Okay.
Hyper alert. Now, I've been nagging at the county to be consistent about their approach as part of the hyper alert system, and I was told that the city has access to use the hyper alert notification system for the public. You and I had some back and forth about alerting the public, at least the residents of the city, about closures, of road closures in the city, to the city hall. And you said I could use a carrier pigeon down when the city hall's closed if I got my call. I'd like to know the status. What does the city have access to hyper alert, whatever that system is? If it does, why aren't we using it? Who is the administrator? Or should we engage with Pulaski County Emergency Operations Center for training and engage, look at the capabilities? For instance, we just talked about trash being gone, or at least they delayed Memorial Day. I have a lot of widows on my street, and oftentimes they don't get the notification or they forget trash is, so I'm having to go up the street and I go and get the trash when I have to be there. This system, a system like this would work. The system on the website does not work for alerts because I haven't got one yet. I signed up for it. We need a citywide alert that alerts us to ongoing with the city. Road closures, dangers, similar to the hyper alert capabilities that I'm aware of. So I think we need to engage with the county on that. And lastly, last year, we had a discussion on the community center audiovisual. The audiovisual that's in there right now was popular back when the Bee Gees were at the top of the pop charts, and Statler Brothers were rocking the country charts. We had a quote, we had somebody come by and do an assessment of it, and I think it fell off the vine. I'd like to know what happened to it.
We got two quotes that weren't close to each other, and one of them brought to our attention the roof was flooding on the inside, and so we're getting bids to replace the roof before we put a new sound system in there.
So we're gonna fix the
Actually, we
roof
have
first.
bids, we just need to take it to finance.
Okay.
Good.
Good. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much, appreciate it. All right. Oh, by the way, it is updated, I just pulled it up on the phone. There's.
Is it?
Yep, right there. All right, can I go ahead, we'll go, we're going to close the meeting. Meeting is being closed pursuant Missouri, Law, Chapter 610.021 to include legal, real estate personnel. Can I get a motion to close the meeting? Motion by Linda, seconded by Charles. Call the roll, please.
Michael.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Linda. Charles.
Yes.
George.
Yes.
We don't need to close.
No.
Yep, thank you. I should have said that before I did that, so we don't need a closed session, so. Okay, the meeting's adjourned. Thank you.